The words you've been choking back may be the very breath that someone is gasping for. Today, we want to look at the things that you don't want to say and spend some time encouraging you. Say it anyway. Hi, my name's Steve Kidd. I am a third generation minister, international best-selling author of 39 books and counting. I've had the wonderful privilege of working with nearly 5,000 people, helping them write, publish, market their books to bestseller, and everything that goes beyond that. We have been a marketing company for 40 years, but what I'm really here to do is help your voice shine. You need the clarity, the consistency, and the connection, and you need the encouragement to say it anyway. Okay? You need to know that what you have to say is worth being said, and even to the very end, I'm going to be the one here to encourage you to say it anyway. If you're joining me live or on the replay, drop your name, say hi. I'd love to say hi back to you. Love to acknowledge that you're here. So excited to have you here with us today. And I'm excited for all the really cool things that we're going to talk about, because that very thing that you have been afraid to say, you've been choking back, you've been hiding from it intentionally, not even accidentally, but intentionally. That is exactly the very thing that someone absolutely needs. They're gasping for the breath that would give them if you would only say it anyway. So today, as we jump into our somewhat and often sacred Sundays, I want to also really honor all that you've done. Some of you did the mirror work. Maybe you posted it, maybe you didn't. And I hope that you spending a couple of weeks, like we did these last couple of weeks, saying that thing, like mine was, everything that's been promised is happening right now. You need to not only say it, you need to see it, you need to believe it. You need to be the one who knows it's true until you believe it, until you're connected to it and you are consistently saying it, until you have that clarity. You can't give the clarity, consistency, and connection to others. You need the 3 C's in your own life first, and then you need to express those out to the people in your world. Often we protect ourselves. We protect ourselves from the truth of what we really know to be real, because it's too real, it's too raw, it hurts too much, it's too much, too risky at the very least, often very scary. And many, many times we've come under fire for having said and being just who we are. I don't want you to have even 1 second, one minuscule minute of feeling like you need to apologize for who you are. Okay, it doesn't take my agreement with it. It doesn't take anybody else to agree with it. It takes you knowing you. Clarity is powerful. You need to identify what is that thing that I'm truly passionate about. And then, and unfortunately, most of us stop, myself included, okay? Most of us stop at our passion. We see something that we know we're massively passionate about, and we can even make tons of money. But the question is, why? Why is that passionate? If you take, whether you talk Tony Robbins, Oprah Winfrey, my good friend Molly Mahoney, Dr. Noah St. John, I could name names the rest of this entire hour and still not name the people that might be the ones that are you into. But if you take any of those people, their passion is evident. And some of them even made, I think of Tony and I think of some of his backstory, made a ton of money, and also lost a ton of money. For those of you that don't know, Tony's told the story many, many times. He became a multimillionaire very, very young, very powerful, and he lost all of it. I saw him on a show one time. He was actually talking about how he went from being a millionaire to literally living on Skid Row. And he was doing reach out and essentially ministering to uplifting people on Skid Row with the message of power and possibility because he knew what it was like to be in that point. And even more so, for some of us, we know the level that we've gotten to, and we've also known the depths that we've gone to. But imagine what it's like to have millions and then have nothing. Some of you probably know what that feels like. Others of you are like, hey, I've tried this broke thing. Now let's see what it could be like if I had money. There's the old phrase, money doesn't buy happiness, and it's actually a Tony phrase, but it'll allow you to arrive to your problems in a lot better style. And that's the kind of thing. So we've got to identify that passion, but then we need to go deeper. And this is where, Tony making the initial millions to the making the impact that he's making now came in. And that's the understanding that passion and then going deeper to why am I passionate about that? And what can I do with it? What can I use it for to make the most impact in this world? You need to first know who you are, know it clearly. Clarity is not even going to start until you start moving, till you start saying something, whether it's a 5-second live or a 5-minute, or you go on for half an hour or whatever. You're not going to find the clarity, and the more you speak it out, the more your own ears are going to hear it, and you're going to begin to really truly believe it. What your mind can conceive and truly believe is what it'll achieve. And see, unfortunately, the problem is that we can conceive of a lot of things. There's the Bible verse, God can do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask or even think. Okay, according to the Spirit that works within you. Ooh, that last part kind of catches us up, doesn't it? Because the problem is we can conceive huge things. We can ask or even think for massively giant things. It's that believe part. Really, truly believe. If you believe in your heart and do not doubt, you can say the mountain, be moved, move and go cast yourself into the sea. See, we often want to skip that other part where there's any responsibility to us. We want to use God like a magic wand. We want to bippity boppity boo all of our problems and just have them be gone, rather than going through powerfully through the difficult and tough times. Hey, I'm right there with you. Okay, I'm not preaching at you. In fact, if anything, I'm preaching at me. Because we need to say the thing. So clarity starts by movement. It starts by you doing it. And then it is aided by consistency. You've got to do the thing and say it, what you're doing consistently. Okay, so if you come out and you say, go back to our mantra, everything that has been promised is happening right now. Okay, if we take the 5 seconds-ish that it takes to say that, we post that, and then we spend the rest of the day in doubt, that those words meant nothing, they did nothing, and they took us to nowhere. But when we begin to look at the world and say, hey, this is a way that everything has been promised is happening right now. Not because, you say that once and boom, $1 million, a bag of money just drops on your head, knocks you unconscious, and you wake up, you see this bag full of gold bars. It doesn't work like that. It works from us conceiving it and then believing it, truly believing it. That's the things we achieve. And unfortunately, we spend, whether it's 5 seconds or half the day or whatever, really wanting and believing and calling for something. The manifestation, all the things in The Secret and stuff. And I was really blessed to interview most of the people that were in the unofficial follow-up book to that called How Thoughts Become Things. And they all came to the same place. And that's that, You can't just sit around and go home, and expect something to drop out of the sky. You've got to put actions. The how the thought becomes a thing is based on the action that you take, the words you say, the things you truly believe, and the actions that you put with that. That's what's going to make the thing that you're manifesting actually manifest. You see, you can spend forever. Let's use, somebody that was in the book and the movie The Secret, Lisa Nichols. Many of you know I know Lisa. She's actually my daughter's mother-in-law. Lisa spent several years, okay, and she tells this story from stage. So I'm not telling, behind the scenes Lisa secrets. Lisa tells how she was working. She was working at a school district, if I remember the story correctly, and she worked for a couple of years. And every single paycheck, she took a portion of that paycheck and she deposited it into an account. She wrote in the little memo thing, funding my dream. Okay. Now, while she was doing that, she had this great big walk-in closet, and she set up mirrors on all the walls. And she spent time practicing, saying the thing, motivating, talking, pitching, the walls, the mirror, herself. She had to get it. And I've said this many times over, but I'm going to say it again. The 10,000 hours that it takes to be an expert, assuming that you're doing it the right way and not just becoming an expert at doing it wrong, but the 10,000 hours that it takes to be an expert, we completely miss the at least 10,000 hours it takes for your ears to hear your mouth saying it and you to believe it before you ever move down the road of then doing it with the kind of convicted power that creates actual expertise. Because if you say the thing and you don't believe it, nobody else is going to either. And you can say it with all of the pretend conviction in the world, and it won't make a hill of beans, it won't make a difference at all. It will not impact it. But the truth, the one that scares you, the one that you're, like so many people on my show have said, and I said this thing, I knew that when I said this thing, I was going to lose all my followers. That's the thing. That's the medicine. That's where we move beyond, wonderful rosy platitudes to actually helping and solving and making a difference in our lives and in the lives of the people that we're meant to serve. And we do it clearly. We identify what that passion is, and then drill down into, well, why am I passionate about that? And then drill down into, how can I use that? What are the words that I can use that would help the person that my passion allows me the capability to be able to do? You see, just being passionate, just being a radical activist with no solutions does not yourself or anyone any good. We can all march in the streets, and I think every single one of us has something, regardless of what your belief system is, has something that they would be willing to take to the streets to march because they feel that adamantly about it. I think that's true for every single person. But the marching in the street does absolutely nothing if there's not a plan for what are we going to do for that. What are we going to do with it? We get the attention, great. But now what's the plan? What's the solution? What is the thing that we can do? Now, we can't solve all the problems of the world, and I don't even encourage you or want you to take that on. But I want you to think about, what is the one thing that I could do during the one day that's called today to help the one person that I can reach? You see, I'd rather have this live, or if you're watching it on the replay, I'd rather have it reach just one person. Yesterday, it was so cool because, and this happens more and more, and it was actually on LinkedIn. Somebody made a comment about how, that was really well said. I really appreciated that. Something along those lines. That makes all the difference. That one person. Yeah, you can go viral, and there's a ton of things, and really honestly, for the most part, if virality, if just massive numbers of followers you want to do, the true the two surefire ways of doing that is to do something completely zany, wacky, crazy. And there's a lot of AI programs that can help you do that. Create, I saw one that was, the AI robot with a gun at the person's head, and another one stopping him, saying no. He always remembered to say please and thank you. And that went viral. And there was a whole bunch of people that got virality over that one completely AI generated post. Okay, you can also go viral depending on how many clothes you're willing to take off. And let's be honest, it doesn't matter whether you're real thin or you're not. I like how I said that nicely. If you're willing to do enough things and take off enough clothes and do enough crazy stuff, you will get a following. Okay, and I'm not even saying you can't do that. I'm not adding any judgment. I'm not putting my own criteria onto what you're passionate about, but I'm asking you to go below that passion to what can I do with it? March in the streets, do it, be adamant, make the signs, do the posts, be just as active as you want to be on a particular subject. And I don't care what the subject is. It doesn't even matter if it's something that I completely disagree with. I'm going to say two things. Number one is have a solution, not just a complaint, a solution. So one of the things that I would suggest to all of you that run businesses is make it a rule that anybody can bring any complaint to you, even about you, as long as they come along with it with a solution. It doesn't even have to be the solution, but a suggestion of what if we did XYZ, or what if, and like I said, even if they're complaining about you, if you could in the future do XYZ. Okay, that's where we move from passion to purpose, and from purpose to impact. That's where we can remove the fear of the thing that we keep choking back and not saying because, it's going to offend certain people. We can be just rah, rah, rah about that thing. And we can, because we've taken the time to find the clarity behind how we can use it, we then come in as life and breath and medicine for the people that I know you want to serve. I know you want to help. I know you mean to really, really make an impact and make a difference. To help someone move from the silence that they're stuck in. Because you too have been stuck in silence, stuck in not saying the thing because of what will be the impact of having said the thing. Your moving out of your silence helps somebody deal with the pain they're dealing with. And then they too can move out of their silence. And that's where we begin to go from just activist to revolution, to momentum, to making a massive change. Today's the beginning of the day. Today's the beginning of the week. Today is the day that we put a line in the sand and we say, hey, I'm not just going to be passionate. I'm going to have purpose and a plan behind what I'm passionate about. And I'm going to make the difference in the day called today for the person I meant to serve. No matter what anybody else is saying to you about it, that doesn't matter. Say it anyway. You're going to hear me use the phrase say it anyway a lot. I'm even going to get t-shirts made up that say it anyway. In fact, I think I want the t-shirts to say it anyway today. I bought that domain name yesterday, sayitanywaytoday.com. There's nothing there yet, so you can go look at it, but you wouldn't see anything yet. We'll put some stuff up there though. Say it anyway today. Not just, say anything. Say that thing that you're passionate about with intent to make an impact and make a difference. Your voice is the roadmap to somebody else's healing, to somebody else's breakthrough. What I've done for you is I've actually created a 14-day Say It Anyway sprint. Okay, now you need to go to visibilityamplifier.com. That takes you to our Visibility Amplifier group here on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, or if you're not on Facebook, sorry, you got to come to Facebook to join that group. Visibilityamplifier.com. 14-day sprint. Now, I'm going to tell you up front, okay, this is a paid program. I have an amazing founder member rate for it for you, okay, because I want you to say it. But the 14-day sprint, I'm going to give you little micro shifts and little micro lessons every day for 14 days so that at the end of the time, you not only have a powerful message, but you have created within yourself a movement, and you have that message. We're even going to take that. Okay, and this is cool. I'm going to take that message that you develop in that 14 days, and I'm going to add you as a part of the first Say It Anyway compilation book. We've got a ton of compilations that are coming out. We're going to do a whole bunch of them, and we're going to include that. And the price is ridiculous. Okay, I mean, it's way less than you're going to pay to be in any other compilation with myself or anybody else. So if you're interested in that, go to visibilityamplifier.com. I need you to understand that thing. I get it. I understand. Almost every day I deal with that same fear of being misunderstood and having it not go the way that I wish it would. Say it anyway. The truth that we hide is what somebody else is missing. The truth that we're hiding and not saying is the medicine that the person that you desperately want to serve, it's the medicine they're missing. Your truth, when you say it anyway, is the medicine somebody's looking for. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm so grateful for you. I appreciate you more than I'll ever be able to say. I hope that you're happy, safe, warm, and loved. That you do say it anyway. That you'll come and join us, visibilityamplifier.com. And then until we're together again next time, which will be tomorrow, when we're going to talk about confidence doesn't come first, courage does. We'll be back again tomorrow. And until we are, I hope you have a great week.